I'm going to start talking about today, guys, is the absolute monarchs in Europe, and talking about how these individuals, these leaders of the countries, became so powerful that they felt they did not have to listen to what anybody else says. And the first country that we want to talk about, and the first leaders that we want to talk about, is from Spain. And we're going to talk about Spain's empire and absolutism. And how did Philip II rule Spain with a strong hand during a time of religious and economic instability? So, setting the stage, the main ideas that we want to cover is we're talking about how did these monarchs first act to establish absolute power. We want to talk about how did they use the divine right theory and similar ideas to justify their power. How did Parliament and the Puritans in England resist absolutism? And how did a limited monarchy was established in England? We're going to talk about that last. England will be the last country that we talk about. We're going to talk about how the role of limited government and Parliament becoming more powerful than the monarchy after the English Civil War. So, absolutism, and what is absolutism? Absolutism is the belief that monarchs held supreme power and are responsible only to God, meaning that if they were the supreme ruler, they did not have to answer to what God was saying or what anybody else was saying because they were appointed by God. So that rolls right into the divine right theory, which was the idea that a king gets his authority to rule directly from God. In the 1500s, Spain was one of the most powerful countries in the world, and then most notably the most in Europe because of their exploration with all the conquistadors and their explorers that was bringing riches back to Spain, made it one of the most powerful countries in Europe. Charles V. Charles V will be one of the first absolute rulers of Spain. He will also be labeled as the Holy Roman Emperor. He will serve from 1519 to 1556. And his achievements is he ruled over Spain, Austria, and the Netherlands as the Holy Roman Emperor. His failures, however, he had a large, diverse empire with many threats. The Turks, French, and German Protestant princes all were against Charles V, and each one of them wanted to overthrow Catholicism within their country. His brother Ferdinand became the Holy Roman Emperor, and his son Philip II ruled over Spain, the Netherlands, and the vast Spanish overseas empire. So when looking at what the Holy Roman Empire consisted of at the time, you see in the yellow, that was lands controlled by the Holy Roman Emperor. And you can see that it's such a vast area, and you have Spain to the bottom left, and then you have France and other countries. These other countries were Protestant in nature, except for the Germany, which was the Holy Roman Empire. Now, Charles V had a son. His son was Philip II, who will become the leader of Spain after the death of Charles V. Now, Philip II will be labeled as a defender of Catholicism, meaning that he is really going to be a devout Catholic and feel that it is his duty and his responsibility to defend Catholicism or the Catholic belief or religion. Philip II ruled over Spain from 1556 to 1598, and his achievements were he was a hard-working ruler who ushered in the golden age of Spain, meaning Spain was at its peak during Philip II. He also helped the Catholic Church to persecute Protestants during the Counter-Reformation. His failures, however, dealt with when he sent the Spanish Armada to be defeated by the English. And what happened, he was trying to marry Elizabeth I of England, and he wanted to restore Catholicism in England. But Elizabeth I is actually going to defeat the Spanish Armada, which was considered to be the most powerful navy in all the world. He is going to be defeated, and it is said at that time, Spain will actually go on a decline while England will go on an ascending platform, meaning that they will become one of the most powerful countries in the world.